you look at the smoke on the beach, okay, it's varying a little bit. Remember, the beach is lower than, shall we say, up where all of the rest of the buildings are. So the wind is slightly different. But if you say that, if you look up, if the smoke's blowing away, then they'll be flying into the smoke. So that will be the direction of the wind. So let's look up then, and we're looking at the aircraft. It will be coming in just below the cloud base. And that question I asked you earlier, what would you be doing? What would your body be telling you what to do? It'll be certainly telling you something, wouldn't it? Well, apart from that, okay, what are they doing? They're carrying out their checks. They're checking their parachute equipment to make sure that everything's going to work. Make sure that first parachute is going to work. Remember, they've got two, so if you see a white parachute and something else floating down, you'll know he's gone on to his reserve, but he will land on the drop zone just a little bit in front of all of his friends. Okay, there we are. We've got the aircraft now. Look, 7,000 feet up there. The aircraft is going at about 100 knots in the forward direction.
I can't see it. Where is it?
Yeah, straight up there. Look, put your glasses on. Look, straight. Oh, yes! Oh, you've got your glasses on.
Yeah, but you see, the problem is, I see him above the cloud. Ah, and you told me they ain't going to jump over the cloud.
No, but they can see the ground.
Ah, because we can see them. Right.
So any moment now, they'll be flying, shall we say, a little bit over the land, because they've got to be about 2,000 yards. That's what they've worked out, 2,000 yards. So they'll be leaving, shall we say, just over the Blackpool Tower, maybe a little bit further on than the Blackpool Tower.
Okay,
because they're going to do all of their work once they've left the aircraft, gone into free fall at 120 miles an hour.
Oh my Lord.
Now at the moment, if anybody's got some binoculars, start looking up, because they'll be climbing out of that aircraft. 5 of them will be walking along an outside ledge, a tiny little ledge, clinging on for dear life, because they do not want to leave before everybody else.
Oh my Lord,
so look, you can actually see, I can see them, look. You can? I can see, yes, they're out there. God, and they're holding on tight. My goodness.
He's older than I am.
Yeah, so they'll be going a little bit further on than the tower. Yeah, they'll be checking, they'll be looking at each other, and then the team coach will be the first man to leave. Yeah. If we've got a flag man, there'll be one coming out on his own. Now the smoke, you'll see some smoke leaving the aircraft now. They've just all pulled their smoke canisters. And any moment now, they'll be leaving that aircraft and going into free fall at 120 miles an hour straight down. Oh, lads. Any moment now, you can see it's that smoke going away, and the first one has left and gone into free fall.
Wow.
Leaving the aircraft now. This is the wind in free fall. 120 mile an hour wind. And the first man deploys his parachute, and he'll be flying the Union flag until he brings it down here onto the beach. Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday the team jumped into the Olympic Games, and then they went down to the Bristol Balloon Festival, and then they've come up here directly for you here today. Wow. So now you're listening to, Brendan, you're listening to the team coach, okay, which is Mark Clayton from Norwich in Norfolk. For anybody out there from Norwich, okay, this is Mark Clayton, and this is his voice talking to the team.
60, turn to left, now. Upstage. Upstage, you may find these turns sharp enough because the winds are fairly strong. That's ready to look at the DZ.
Look at that control, ladies and gentlemen. As I said earlier, these are the parachute jump instructors of the #1 parachute training school. They've been specially selected to become free-fall parachute instructors. They need to get together more than 1,000 jumps before they can actually take that course. And then their job will be to train all of our special forces. And as I said before, this is a military exercise. And you can see the professionalism of the Royal Air Force that is flying up there today. The winds up there are about 35 to 40 knots, and they're constantly changing. And so they're bringing them round again, and then they'll slot back in together to get that perfect stack. Look at that. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, start giving them a cheer, because what a wonderful display. What a display of professional. Well done, lads. And don't let's forget, okay, we've got Carl Harris from Sutton in Ashfield in Nottinghamshire, and he's bringing the flag down, the Union flag. He'll be landing right on those, between those yellow crosses, maybe on the orange or the yellow cross. Okay, and bringing it down for everybody here in Blackpool. And remember, only yesterday they were jumped into the Olympic Games. So ladies and gentlemen, give them a wonderful welcome. Carl Harris from Sutton and Ashfield in Nottinghamshire. That from 7,000 and right on the button. Look at that. Come on, give them a big cheer. Right, let's look back to the rest of the team. Okay, we've got Sergeant Mark Clayton from Norwich in Norfolk. He's in his 3rd year. This is his final year with the team. Look at the control of those parachutes. It's why they send everybody from all over the Commonwealth and different parts of the world, because we in Great Britain are regarded to be the elite at training people to jump out of aeroplanes. So let's start giving them this wonderful, wonderful welcome here on the Blackpool beach. Above the tower, what a shot for anybody with a camera. So as they come in to land, I will introduce the team to you, and you'll be able to see if they come from where you live. So the first man down will be Sergeant Mark Clayton from Norwich in Norfolk in his 3rd year. Sergeant Neil Flanagan from Burnley in Lancashire. And our youngest member of the team is Sergeant James Bruce from Portsmouth, only 26 years old. Sergeant John Parkhurst from Gainsborough in Lincolnshire. Sergeant Gary Nicholson from Consett in County Durham. Sergeant Dave Warboys from Sherringham in Norfolk. Corporal Rob Priestley from Middlesbrough. Corporal Liam Lyons from Worcester. And Flight Lieutenant Ben Longsdale from Settle in North Yorkshire. Wasn't that absolutely wonderful, from 7,000 feet up, that they land here on these 2 small crosses, with the wind changing constantly in different directions, constantly changing the speed. What are they waiting for now? They're waiting to actually make sure that their parachutes are not going to fly away. They're going to pick them up, put them underneath their arms, so that they cannot get contaminated. They're then going to come forward, and Flight Lieutenant John Connor from Oxford, he's the Deputy Officer commanding the RAF Falcons, he stood down there near the white flag, okay, and he will put his hand in the air, and they'll all come forward to line up and formate on John to give everybody here in Blackpool a salute for being such a wonderful audience. And ladies and gentlemen, we're looking, we're not going to get a flyby now by our aircraft, because we've got 2 other aircraft coming in for their displays. So the team will now come forward for the salutes, but I will now hand you back over to Brendan, who will go on with the further displays this afternoon. Thank you.
Graham, thank you very, very much. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, what a wonderful show. And I think actually it makes quite a good performance. We'll let the pit specials of the Wildcats there do their thing in the background, and we'll have the boys down here taking their salute. Why not? Why not?
Thank you, Brendan. Thank you, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Royal Air Force Falcons of the year 2012. What a wonderful display. You know, the motto of the #1 parachute training school is knowledge dispels fear.
How very, very true, Graham. How very, very true. Well, there we are, ladies and gentlemen, a wonderful show. And I always love to see them, being an old jumping bean myself, way back, not anything like that.